Hello viewers. There is an old quote of Cicero, an Italian philosopher. He said, "Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt." In this quote, they is related to the common people of any country or state. And in this quote, he emphasizes that if you give bread, it means grain, food, and circus of anything. Like in the ancient time, circus was made, like some of the people were came and do some certain of things which enjoys people. And now it is like IPL or any cricket tournaments. Look at the hype of people. They are obsessed with, like, I have made one of the videos on RCB stampede. RCB had won the cup, the IPL cup, after 18 years, and there is so much obsession of people that RCB won. What will you have to do with if RCB win? RCB win, perhaps several lakh of rupees. Every team won the IPL cup, so it is received by BCCI. So several lakh. Do you get any single rupees on if RCB won that cup? When RCB won that cup, but in fact in RCB stampede, perhaps more than 11 people have died in that stampede. So you can know the obsession, or if I would say foolishness, of those people who don't have any relation to their work, who don't have any accountability for their own work, that I have to do this work, I have to thrive in my. Uh, I'm not saying that you are supporting any particular team, that would be wrong, but be a blind follower of any particular player or team would be, I think, a disaster. So we will talk in this video that how the bread and circus make people engaged, and this is the same happening in India, in one of the state of our own country which has lowest literacy, which is lowest in every scenario, that is our own Bihar. Lowest in literacy rate, lowest in health facilities, lowest in jobs, lowest in investments. So all the things in Bihar is at the bottom. So, and at the bottom of that is one of the reasons is behind is that Archestra. There are two things. First is orchestra, second is Archestra. Orchestra is something that was in that orchestra, some of the talented people, whether it is musicians or violinists or some people who play piano, or some sort of musicians who use these music tones, who use their musical talent in order to grab the attention of people in the foreign country. But in Archestra in Bihar, it is like there is a stage and some girls, whether it is minor or major, nobody cares, and some raunchy Bhojpuri songs, and that girl was wearing a vulgar cloth and dancing there, and people were enjoying that, and that was done by several politicians in the time of Lalu Yadav. It is one of the way in order to grab vote. Whenever elections starts, or the days of election were used to come, then these were arranged by the party of Lalu Yadav itself, RJD. So you can now imagine that the literacy and the knowledge of people in Bihar is where. How illiterate is not appropriate. How a cloud people, how a goof people are living in Bihar. And one of the son, like a person who is goof, who is illiterate, and watching orchestra, he will not he married with someone, a woman, and he has a child, and the child, he didn't give him or her to study, then that child will also become illiterate as their father, and this circle goes on. This is the vicious cycle. So recently, over 250 NGOs filed a petition in Patna High Court saying that in the name of so-called dance, what is it called? So-called vulgar dance on raunchy Bhojpuri songs, the traffickings of minor girls were done, and the Bombay High Court ordered the uh, current government, the government of Nitish Kumar, JDU government, to to do a to do a probe, or unbiased probe on this issue. And further, the what we call the Patna High Court said that this is the trafficking of minor girl is a serious concern. And if you look at the data of NCRB, it says that in the year 2022, 822 cases that were only reported, and there are thousands of cases which goes unreported. 822 cases were reported in Bihar as of rape cases. So there is no any surprising in there, I think, because in a state where which is lower in everything, and where rape is common, where orchestra is common, so we don't need to imagine the mindset of that state, of the people of that state, because I'm also the one of the citizens of India and the citizen of Bihar. So I'm saying, because I have observed people. Look, let me tell you a story of my same town where I'm living now. In Nirmali, I observed in Durga Puja. There is a mass celebration happened in Durga Puja. The images of Goddessa Durga was installed in pandals, has happened everywhere. So in Nirmali, it happened on just some meters, some few meters away from Ambedkar Chowk, before Ambedkar Chowk. So the large installments of Goddessa Durga was installed in that pandal, and on just a few meters away there was a stage which was made for the dancing of orchestra girls, and it has happened last year, and that last year, and it has happened every year. And what I saw is that when orchestra is going on, when those girls wearing vulgar clothes on dancing on crude songs, people was so much that the region was so much crowded that even there is a road beside of that, the people with bike or cars will not be able to go by there, and all of the people are standing there, nobody is. And it is, if you look at the 10 a.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12, 12, 1, 2, at all the night they were standing there. They didn't have any of like they have any problem in standing or something else. And if on the another time, there has been sometimes when the normally those who conduct this Durga Puja, they they made some sort of like a story of Ramayan or something else in that circus or in that natak. Peoples were not standing, peoples were sitting, and some were sleeping here and there, and very less people were there. So you cannot imagine the intense desire and the sexual desire how is embedded in the mind of people. I'm not saying that in the people of Bihari, but in every people, lust is so much embedded in our country, and lust is the same thing which is abstained by by in our country. And if sex is so much abstinent in our country, I don't know why we have the biggest population. We have this so much population than anyone else in the country. So that's all about news. Thank you very much.